If you have belly fat that you can't seem to lose, you more than likely have fallen guilty to some or maybe even most of these mistakes. But by the end of this video, you're going to know the solution to every single one of them. How do I know? I'm not giving this information out from a textbook. I've actually lived this stuff. I was 20 kilogram overweight and I got myself to a point where I managed to stay lean year round, and I actually stepped on stage to compete in bodybuilding twice. Alongside helping guys like Daniel, AJ, Aryan, Matt, Paddy, Scott, and many, many, many more. For those of you who are new around here, my name is Mark and I've been coaching for 4 years now. And over those 4 years, I've developed systems that have helped over 500 guys lose 10 kilogram plus, and most importantly, keep it off for life, which has helped these guys buy back their energy and their confidence in their everyday to-day life. Now, each of these 10 mistakes that I'm about to share are very easy for you to fix, and you can implement these things literally from today. And if you implement what I'm about to tell you and show you and you're not losing the belly fat, you're not doing it right, because these things simply work when they're applied. Okay, so let's go through them. The first one is winging your calories. Now, this is probably one of the most common ones that happens. Now, I used to do this all the time. I would eat healthy thinking that that was enough. So I was trying to eat my chicken breast, I was trying to eat my salmon, my steak, my rice, my pasta, my potato. The intentions were there. I was eating the right sources, thinking that I was going to lose body fat, but I wasn't. And the reason for that was because I didn't actually know how many calories I was consuming. So to lose the belly, you need to be eating less calories than your body is burning. That's the only way you're going to lose it. And the thing is with winging your calories is being in a calorie surplus is very easy to do. Like, you can eat a lot of foods that you don't even realize are high in calorie. They're putting you in a surplus. Prime example is this: olive oil. Olive oil is not a bad source, but you have 15 mil, you're topping up like 100 to 200 calories. You think about that over 3 or 4 different meals, all these things start to add up. So being in a calorie surplus is definitely easy to do when you're winging your calories. And the calorie surplus is going to make you gain fat. So the way to find out what your calorie deficit should be is I want you to multiply your body weight in pounds by 15. And then you want to subtract about 300 calories initially, and you can start to increase the calories you're pulling away over time. That is what's ultimately going to put you into a calorie surplus. And be very clear on this. Track it. Use an app like MyFitnessPal. Understand the foods that you're eating, how many calories they have, and you can start to become more in control of your diet. Then when we look at the actual foods that you're having, think about eating about 80% whole sourced, and then 20% you can have from, slightly more processed foods. Like, we are human at the end of the day. If you want to follow the carnivore diet, like, go for it. But the way that we coach and the way that my mindset and my philosophy is how can we do things long term? The guys that we help, it's always done with what's the long term approach. So aim to have 80% whole sourced. This is things like chicken breast, 5% fat beef mince, 0% fat Greek yogurt, salmon, sirloin steak, ribeye steak, eggs, potato, rice, sweet potato. These are things that are going to keep you full when you're in that calorie deficit and losing the belly. And then for your protein, you want to have around 0.8 gram per 1 pound of body weight. This for me always worked. It was just the easiest way for me to get set on a number. When your deficit gets a little bit more aggressive, up it to 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. If you go above this, it's not a big deal. And then with your fats, you want them to be about 30% of your calories. So let me show you how to work this out. Let's say you have a 2,000 calorie diet. That would be 30% of them calories would be 600. So 600 of your calories will come from your fats. Now, there is 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. So you would divide that 600 by 9, and that would give you around 67 gram of fats. You can do the same for a 1750 calorie diet, so 1,750 times 0.3 for the 30%. 525 calories divided by 9 would be 58 gram of protein. And the fats are really important for bodily function, so don't demonize them. Trans fats are not ideal, but fats are important. Number 2 is no goals or timelines. This is quite literally like trying to drive to an unknown destination with no map or no sat nav. You'll try and get there, but it's either going to take you a long ass time, or you're going to get lost and you're going to end up back to where you left off with. Now this is something that, again, I was very guilty of, where I wanted to lose body fat, but I was just kind of dragging my heels with it. Like, I didn't have a clear start date. I didn't have a clear end goal. You just get aimless when you do this. Now, what we do with all of our clients is we set timelines and we reverse engineer. So what I need you to think about is, what is that event or what is that date or timeline that you're looking to get in shape for? Let's say it's a holiday. Let's say the holiday is 4 months from now. Or let's say it's Christmas. It's about 4 months from this recording. So you want to get in good shape for Christmas. That's the end date, and you reverse engineer back. So what ideal scale weight do you want to be? What ideal body fat percentage do you want to be? And then you reverse each step back week by week to get to the point where you're at. So right now I'm 80 kg. I want to get to 70 kg. I've got 16 weeks. I know that I need to lose around a pound per week. And it makes it very clear and very concise. Having that goal back behind you creates the intensity and the purpose behind the journey so that you're not aimless. If you just say, I'm going to lose body fat, okay, but when for? Why for? How are you doing it? It's very easy to get lost, and it might be the reason why you're constantly starting with your fat loss journey. Now, if this is something that you've always found hard to do, and like you have no clue how to set timelines, goals, and reverse engineer, I've left a link below in the description to book a completely free strategy call with me. And what we'll do is help you break down them goals, identify the gaps for you, identify what it is you need, and get you a little bit clearer on where you want to be. So if you're confused on timelines, just go ahead and book that call. Number 3 is trying to outrun or outwork a bad diet. Real life story. When I passed my driving test, I used to train in a Pure Gym, and the Pure Gym was just off of the expressway, and the expressway led up to a McDonald's. And what I used to do is go to McDonald's and I would get, like 6 chicken nuggets, 5 chicken selects, barbecue sauce, chips, feel guilty for it, and drive straight to the gym and either do cross trainer, stairmaster, run on the treadmill, or hit some weights, thinking that I was working it off. Now, it doesn't work like this. Our body doesn't burn calories like this. It's really important that you understand the total daily energy expenditure. Basically, this is how our body burns calories. Now, only 5% of the calories that we burn actually come from movement. It's called your EAT, so your exercise activity thermogenesis, and it's things like running, general cardio, and weight sessions. Only 5%. You actually burn similar calories digesting the food than the actual calories. You actually burn similar calories digesting the food than you would do actually doing a training session and working it off. So don't view it as when you have like a bad meal or when you go over calories than what you were planning for, that you then try and outwork that, because it doesn't work. View the gym and your cardio as something that gets you healthier and something that gets you stronger. Don't look at it as a reason to burn more calories. If you do that, you'll spin your wheels the same way that I did in the past. Just set up your normal training the way that you would do for the entire week, okay? Set your step count. Look at the steps that you're getting at the moment, add 1,000 to it. If you have a sedentary job and you get 5,000 steps working in an office, don't try and, target yourself on then getting 10,000 steps. Just go to 6,000 and build up from there. How many days can you train? I always say between 3 to 5 is the sweet spot. If you can do 2, great, it's better than nothing. So do what you can. And then fit in some cardio for heart health if your time allows. But I would always lean more so towards steps because it's just so easy to get it in. Number 4 is binging on the weekends. I used to do this so much. I would be so dialed in Monday to Friday, and then when it got to the weekend, it was almost as if calories didn't count. I think a big reason is because this is how I felt, and I think a lot of maybe you watching this right now will feel. Monday to Friday, you're at work or you're at university or college or whatever. You have like structure set for you, and when it comes to the weekend, it's kind of like a free for all. So I used to look at it as Saturday was the kind of day to switch off, quite rightly, but I'd like dropped everything and I would switch off from everything. And the hard thing with this is you can do so much work Monday through Friday, and then it comes to a Saturday and a Sunday and you can have pints and you can have pizza, and it literally undoes all of the deficit you've created from that Monday to Friday. Now think about this. Look at your weekends right now. Are you really undoing all your work at the weekend? Like, quite possibly so. Quite possibly so. And this is what frustrates a lot of people. You know, I chat to guys and like, I'm doing this, I'm eating this, I'm trying this, but your weekends is causing you to spin your wheels. So how do you fix that? Plan ahead. You do not need to give up the pints or the pizzas or anything like that. You don't need to give them up. You need to moderate them, but you don't need to give them up. To plan ahead, I have a separate video that is like super dialed in on how to socialize at weekends. So if this is a big sticking point for you, go and watch that video. I'll flash it up on screen. But plan ahead, okay? Deduct your calories from midweek so that the total weekly calories is the same. Going back to number one, this is why it's so important to know your calories, okay? Let's say you've got a 2,000 calorie deficit diet, and over the course of the week, that would be 14,000 calories. Now, if you know that on the Saturday you're going to have 4,000 calories, you would then budget the 10,000 calories from the Monday through to the Sunday, not including the Saturday. So you could literally say, right, okay, I'm going to have 5 pints. I know that's going to be 1,000 calories because there's 200 cal a pint. I'm going to have a burger and fries. I know that that's going to be about 1,000 calories. So I've got 2,000 calories from alcohol and food. I'm going to take away 200 calories on the lead up, and I'm going to deduct on the day off. Now, to be honest with you, a lot of the time, it's actually the accountability and the pre-planning that people struggle with, and that's what causes them to be thrown off. Again, if that's your struggle, is the accountability aspect, use that link below, because you're going to get very, very clear on where you need to be going forward and how you're finally going to lose the belly. So again, if accountability is the struggle point, book that call, that free strategy call, and we'll sit down, no obligation, and we'll walk you through things. Number 5 is missing your protein targets. I see this so often. People, healthy diets, but they miss their protein targets. You know, they're eating their oats, they're eating their fruit, their banana, their strawberries, their blueberries, they're eating their avocados. Where does the protein come in? Oh, I had a whey protein shake. No. You need to make sure you're hitting protein targets for multiple reasons when you're trying to lose the belly. Okay, number 1, it is going to keep you feeling fuller. Protein is a macronutrient, digests a lot slower, so it makes you feel fuller, okay? Which can help you stay within a deficit. It can help reduce snacking. When you're in a calorie deficit and you're losing the belly fat, it can become a little bit harder to build muscle. So what that protein is going to allow you to do is it's going to help you either preserve muscle or even build muscle, depending on the training level that you're at. And the more muscle you have, the more calories that you can eat, because muscle is more energy demanding than fat. So yes, we want to be in a calorie deficit and we want to lose body fat, but we also want to make that process easier for us, and we want to look good when we lose the fat. So don't be thinking just, oh, I'll just eat 1,500 calories and run on the treadmill. No. We want to lose the fat and we want to look good. So keep your protein target high. Number 6 is that all or nothing mindset. I would watch a couple motivational YouTube videos or motivational like TikToks or Instagrams, whatever. I'm all in. I'm cutting out this, and this, and I'm going to do this. And then 3 days later, I was back to square one. And the all or nothing mindset that affects most people is it tends to be when things happen to them. So one small thing happens and the week is ruined. When you're consistent, you think you can't put a pinky toe wrong, and it just adds stress on you for no reason. Like, the reality is, it just puts added pressure to be perfect. And getting in shape doesn't work that way. Getting in shape is about balance, because you are a human being. You have social occasions, you have a life to live, you know, you've got work, you've got general life stressors. So there will be things flung your way when you're trying to lose the belly fat, and you will mess up on your diet, okay? It's inevitable to a certain extent. But I think just taking that pressure off of yourself really does help, okay? The best way you can overcome this is simply accepting that one small thing happening does not have a drastic impact. I always say to our lads inside the community, when they maybe mess up on their diet for like one meal, or they miss a training session or something, I always say, if you were to zoom out, right, and look at your journey over like 6 months, are you really going to remember that one meal off that you had? Are you really going to remember that one training session that you missed? It's about stacking more of the positive things your way instead of the negative things. Now, if it becomes a constant thing and every week you're messing up on your diet, go back to the other one about the binge eating, okay? It's probably an accountability issue you have. If one thing happens and then you're like all the negative way, it's an all or nothing mindset. So you need to create a better relationship with that and be like, okay, I've messed up on my diet for this meal, I'll just get back to it the following day. And that's the quickest way you make progress. That's probably the difference between those who do and those who don't, is just the general resiliency to not. Number 7 is ignoring recovery. I was the world's worst for this. Work all day, get home, do bits at night, and then when it came to like 10 o'clock, when I probably should have been winding down, I was sitting up scrolling, watching YouTube, watching Netflix, TikToks, Instagrams, you know, getting stressed with work and getting 4 hours of sleep, only to wonder why I was starving and why my scale weight wasn't moving. And it was because I was ignoring recovery. And this is the easiest one to overlook because it's the easiest thing to do. Literally, it is the easiest thing to do. Sleep is very important, especially when you're in a deficit and you're trying to lose belly fat. Sleep will regulate your hunger hormones, so ghrelin and leptin. Leptin is your fullness hormone, ghrelin is your hunger hormone. When you have a poor night's sleep, your ghrelin, hunger hormone, rises, whilst your leptin, fullness hormone, drops. So you go from being okay to, oh my God, I'm really hungry, oh my God, I'm even more hungry because of consistent poor night's sleep. Now, not to mention, sleep also massively boosts your testosterone levels. It gives you more energy. So this makes being in a deficit through movement a lot easier, okay? Which means make losing fat a whole lot easier. So get a nighttime routine in place. Cold room, dark room, relax yourself, like 30 minutes, try and avoid the phone, you know, journal, just generally switch off and relax. Number 8 is eating clean instead of smart. Smoothies, nuts, avocados, olive oils, these are all very calorie dense foods. Now remember, to lose body fat, the most important thing is to be in a calorie deficit. So yes, like from a micronutrient point of view, these foods are good, but the most important thing for you to lose fat is to be in a calorie deficit. So it's not just about eating clean and that will do it. It's about being smart with the foods that you use within the calorie budget that you've got. So you want to have low calorie, high protein options. Things like chicken, tuna and white fish, turkey breast, whey, 0% fat Greek yogurt. Having lower calorie protein options is going to allow you to have more calories to use for other things like your carbohydrates and foods that you actually enjoy. Other protein sources like steak and salmon are really good as well, just a little bit more calorie dense, which is fine. You can still use them. And then you have more calories to use for things like smart carbs. So things like potato, pasta and rice that are going to keep you feeling full. So if you have lean protein options that hit your protein target, high satiating carbohydrate options, what do you think that leaves more calories for? Foods that you actually really enjoy. Yeah, like, yeah, you can have a chocolate bar. If it fits your calories and you fit your protein target for the day, why not? If it helps you stay within the deficit, you can do it. Or other options like bread or cereal can be used. So it's not just about eating clean with your calories, you need to be eating smart with them as well, okay? Think about what that food purpose is serving. Is it helping you hit your protein target? Is it helping you stay full? And is it helping you stay within your deficit? If it ticks the 3 of them, get it in. And number 9 is drinking your calories. I want to share a real life story with you. I used to work in phone shops when I was in car phone warehouse. And I used to bring in a healthy lunch with me. So like chicken salad or I used to eat tuna pasta a lot. And I would jump over to M&S and I would get this like latte chocolate milk thing. It was like a litre bottle from Marks and Spencer's. And I was confused as to why I wasn't losing belly fat because I was eating healthy. This one bottle had 600 calories. We would also go to Tim Hortons, which was just next door, and we used to get this. It was like a white chocolate mocha type of drink. I can't quite remember the name of it. It was 300 calories. So I was having 900 calories 4 times a week, sometimes 5, in my lunch, beyond my actual lunch itself. So these are devil calories, and they can tip you in a surplus and leave you hungry very easy. So like that Starbucks you're having on the way to work, all these things start to add up, okay? They count. So try to get the majority of your calories, if not all of your calories, from your actual foods. The reason being is it's going to make you stay to your calorie deficit much easier. If you were to have 1,000 calories, and let's say I had 2,000 calories to be in a deficit, and I was having 900 of them drinking from the coffee and the chocolate milk thing. That leaves me 1100 calories from foods, as well as my training and my cardio. It's a lot. So don't drink your calories. Or if you are, understand the calories that's in them, and you do track them. Stick to like 0 calorie drinks. Diet Coke, Iron Brew Extra, you know, just things that don't actually have any calories but still satisfy a craving. So be careful when you're drinking your calories, because this can help you move into a calorie surplus, and we want to be in a deficit. And number 10, the final one, this is something that I used to be really, really, really bad for, is following influencer generic plans. Now, these guys mean well. Don't get me wrong, they mean well, okay? But following like a generic plan that isn't designed for you is really going to have its limitations. Now, this is what I used to do. I used to spend a lot of time watching these other influencers on YouTube, you know, even guys like copying Christian Guzman's diet when he's 1 week out from his show and he's eating sawdust. And I would think that's the right thing to do. Or, you know, following like a Mike Thurston, for example, and when he's in his bulk or whatnot, copying him. Like, at the end of the day, they are different heights, they have different goals, they have different expenditure, different lives. They're not you. And it's so important that you get clear on what your calories are, what they need to be, understand the data that you're getting from this. So like, when you consume X calories that are designed for you, what happens to your scale weight, your energy levels, your body composition, and make decisions off of that instead of following the generic plans that you see out there. The same goes for training. Training's a little bit more broader. The nutrition is the area that following generic stuff, it will not work. Now, how can you fix this? Use macrocalculator.com. Get clear on how many calories you should be eating. Like, this is a massive, massive thing to use. Look at your deficit calories. So pop in your information, your height, your scale weight, etc. Understand what your maintenance is, your deficit calories are. Track that, follow that, because it's designed for you, and see what happens over time. And use the foods that you enjoy that help you stick to a calorie deficit, not these influencers. Now, if you do everything that I've spoke about in here, you know, hopefully you can identify where you have some issues within these 10. You now know how to solve it. And if you are struggling with your journey, go and use the free strategy call. Book it in, have a conversation with me personally, and we'll walk through some things with you, understand the gaps, understand, you know, maybe where you could improve on, what things you need, and take it from there. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's solved some issues for you. I struggled with all 10 of these. So again, I'm not saying this stuff from experience, and a lot of the guys that we help have struggled with the exact same thing. So hopefully it's given you some extra education on how to solve it. Please make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like and comment. All these things add up, and I'll catch you in the next one.